Now tell me what's so important that you couldn't tell me back there in the glade.
I wanted to give you a riddle.
A riddle? Why?
You'll know soon enough. Now listen, I bloom in silence, a petal's grace, a delicate charm in a hidden place, a whispered scent, a subtle ploy. What am I, elusive and coy? Solve this riddle, unlock the joy.
The only petal I see here is called Clara.
The right answer. And now for your reward. Could you find some room there for me? I'm awfully, awfully tired. And cold too.
Well, we shall have to do something about that.
But don't get too excited. As soon as I lie down, I'll sleep the sleep of the...
The just?
Something like that. But at least I don't have to worry about any bad dreams, since I'll be sleeping next to a knight.
Sorry, I don't know your name, my lady.
This is Johanka of Zhernov, Henry.
Pleased to meet you.
I know who you are. My companions here talked about you. And the stories were somewhat madcap, if you don't mind me saying so.
Nothing more than a couple of silly misunderstandings.
The pond, the stocks, and the gallows. Quite a nice series of misunderstandings, if you ask me.
Your life was on the line more than once, young man.
You're right, Father. And not just my life, Lord Capon's as well.
Well, that sounds interesting. Won't you tell me about it? I'd love to hear about adventures right from their hero himself.
I'll be glad to tell you my story. Where to begin?
The best place to begin is at the beginning, isn't it?
You're right, of course. That would be best. Lords Hanush and Radzig entrusted us with delivering a message to Trotsky. It's a long way from our home in Ratai. So we made camp by a pond to bathe a bit before presenting ourselves to the local lord. We didn't have time for that, because a band of cutthroats suddenly attacked us. They killed without mercy, and our men had no chance against them. We had no choice but to jump into the water and swim for our lives. I still don't know how I didn't drown. I can't swim, you see.
Truly divine intervention, my son. God clearly wanted you to be saved.
Truly shocking and terrifying. Tell me, what awful thing happened next?
It was a bloodbath, my lady. Then they followed us into the rocks and chased us through that labyrinth like rabbits. I thought we were done for. There was no way out. Nothing around but rocks and pitch-black night.
I see your lives really were in danger. You are truly brave.
We were saved by a good-hearted old woman. But later, we got involved in a tavern brawl. Well, the brawl was started by my Lord Capon, actually. Manual labor would have been too humiliating for him, you see. Even more humiliating than having the local guards pour, slops over us, it would seem.
No, that is truly awful.
But it's true. Everyone thought we were stinking vagabonds, which led to a whole misunderstanding.
Bailiff Thrush put them in the stocks.
Yeah, like I said, they took us for ragamuffins.
Fair enough. But out with it now. Why did they punish you?
I admit the bailiff was right to punish us. But we would have won the brawl otherwise, my lady.
Excellent. I think people are wrong about you. You're a sincere and brave young man, Henry.
And rather entertaining company.
Yes, I agree. It's a pity my good friend didn't hear your story. She would have been very interested.
Who do you mean, my lady?
Unfortunately, she just went outside to get some fresh air. But the easiest way to put that right would be to go and find her. Would you escort me, Sir Knight?
Certainly, my lady. I'd be honored to escort you.
Excellent. I'm sure the learned gentlemen will excuse us, won't they? It's a lovely night outside, and it's a little stuffy in here, so a walk will do me good. Come on. A lovely summer night. It was horribly stuffy inside. Thanks for rescuing me from the claws of those two old vultures.
Yeah, of course. But I thought...
I know what you thought. Some men are terribly slow-witted, that's all. Like my late husband. But maybe I underestimated you, eh?
I don't think you're the kind to fall for pretty poems.
Well, well. Finally an exception that proves the rule.
I'm no good at poetry anyway.
That's enough talk, silly. Embrace me. Let's enjoy this night. It wasn't made for sleep, after all.
I wouldn't mind a few more feasts like this now and then. Have you tasted the Hungarian wine?
I remain on duty, so I can't. But when I see how the others are enjoying it, sacre, I miss Prague.
You're a regular martyr. We're in the same boat. My lord also told me not to drink. What was von Berghoff doing in Prague?
He's the royal chamberlain, so he's in charge of collecting taxes from royal towns and monasteries. And he was negotiating with the League of Lords as well, of course.
What? He promised he'd support the proposal of Hannes of Lipa.
Maybe, but he can hardly call off negotiations with Rosenberg and the other powerful lords. Politics isn't blind man's buff. Besides, you only gave him the message after he came back from Prague, didn't you?
Do you know what the negotiations in Prague were about?
No, because I'm not a spy.
But personal bodyguards often hear all kinds of things, don't they?
Well, Hohenstein and Riesenberg are quarreling over some nonsense in Saxony. Lichtenberg is trying to play both sides, and the mighty Rosenberg is scheming against everyone. Aye, and Bocek of Kunstadt is looking for a husband for his niece, Yitka. She's pretty, so it won't take long.
I thought the League of Lords was supposed to be united.
What? Then? No chance. Having too many roosters in the yard always ends badly.
Have you heard the plan of attack?
No. Ulrich is keeping it all close to his chest.
Not that there's any point.
I noticed that your lord isn't too fond of the Chamberlain.
That's one way of putting it.
Sir Otto respects him, and I trust him. But it's true, Ulrich is a bit strange.
He's a conceited fool, you mean?
If it's glory that you seek, you cannot be shy and meek.
Do you know the other guests?
They're noblemen from these parts, but I don't know them personally. That cheerful little fellow in the middle is Hermann Palitz, known as Littlehead. Pity you didn't see his performance on the barrel. Thankfully, the barrel gave way before Littlehead.
And the other one? The thin one?
Florian of Lomnitz, a famed wit, fair of face and well-spoken. The ladies swoon. For all he could care, well, we'll see what kind of company he prefers in the end.
What about you and the local womenfolk? Got your eye on anyone?
Come off it. I'd have to stand in line behind Herman and his ilk. I'd rather have a drink with you.
I think I know what you're getting at. Don't you want to leave the guests to themselves and go somewhere quieter?
I like the way you think. I have some good brandy in my chambers. If you're tired of the feast, I'll invite you for a nightcap.
The night is young. But maybe later. What do you say?
I'll be happy to wait for you.
Let's leave. I'd rather spend the rest of the evening with you.
You fancy some of that brandy, do you? I thought that might tempt you.
Ah, that can wait. Why not start in the baths?
I don't know about you, but I already washed today.
Being too clean never hurt anyone.
That's true. In any case, it would be a sin not to take this opportunity. We have a lot of dirty work ahead of us tomorrow. Come on then. We also have to get at least some sleep before we move out.
Sakra! I didn't believe this would work out, but he was as frightened as a mouse.
I told you it'd all work out. I can be very convincing when I want to.
I don't think he'll ever forget this.
You know, you were really great. I never could have done this without you. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. When I find Aneshka, I'll tell her all about you.
I was glad to be of help.
Hey, before we say goodbye, I was just thinking. I don't want you to just forget about me. There's another way I could pay you back.
Don't worry. I won't forget. Oh, God damn it. I think that bitch robbed me. So, here we are. Welcome home.
It doesn't feel much like home anymore. They were behaving like animals in here.
Don't worry about the mess. Our boys will happily clean up once they get here. We owe you that.
The mess is the last thing on my mind. There was my mother's silver, my brother's hunting trophies, and my books. It's all gone.
Right. We've got a lot of work to do. But we'll get there. You'll see. We have to. There's a lot at stake.
That's true. You know, Henry, I want to ask you something. And I want an honest answer, all right? If everything were to go wrong at the Italian court, and God forbid you had to choose, would you still try to rescue my father, even if it meant putting stealing the silver in jeopardy?
The lives of allies are obviously the most valuable asset to us. Without their support, the silver would be useless anyway.
Not to mention, it wouldn't last you very long anyway.
Don't worry. We'll either leave the Italian court with the lords, or...
Or not at all.
If our plans succeed and your father is freed, do you know what will come next?
I try not to think about it.
Why? That's why you're helping us, isn't it?
If you get the king's silver, my father and I will have to hide. Leave the region, go somewhere out of Sigismund's men's reach, and you and I will have to part ways.
Maybe it won't be necessary. As soon as Jobst and his troops arrive, you'll be safe again.
Maybe. But your duties are elsewhere. Capon's estate is in Ratai. Besides, he'll be getting married, and you'll surely be accompanying him. Why should my father and I stay here anyway? What do we have left?
You'll be all right.
My father would clap you in irons for that.
And for this.
Seems you know how a lady should be carried.
Where to, ma'am? I don't see any rivers, ditches, or puddles to cross.
Damihi castitatem e continentiam, sed non limoro. Forward, Sir Knight.
You know about yesterday evening? And night?
What about it?
I thought maybe you want to talk about it.
Do you think there's anything to talk about?
Well, what's next for us?
Nothing, most likely. I'm Lord Rutard's daughter. Our name still means a lot, despite all the trouble we're in. When my pa is free and an opportunity presents itself, I'll have to get married.
Has your father already picked a groom for you?
Not yet, but I know how it goes. If I'm lucky, I'll marry a young nobleman and soon bear him a bunch of children. And if I'm really lucky, they'll find me some old man who will drop dead before we even leave the church.
A husband, kids? Is that what you want?
Does it seem like I have a choice? I can't just go and become somebody's squire like you. As my father's sole heiress, I have 3 options. Marriage, a nunnery, or jumping off the battlements.
Surely you're not serious about that last one, are you?
Of course not. But at least you can see nobody cares a damn what I want. Our plan may very well fail, and no one might survive. Why throw something nice away prematurely? You know, carpe diem et memento mori.
Well, if that's how you feel. I've come to say goodbye.
Already?
Aye. We have to leave at night.
You see, I've been thinking a lot about the two of us, and about what you told me at Malashov.
And?
You see, once I heard a French minstrel tell a tale about 2 knights. They met on the battlefield, where they faced each other. One as a commander, the other as a black knight.
Do you remember the names of those knights?
Lancelot and Gaelhaut. I'm sure you've heard of Lancelot.
I haven't met many French minstrels in life, except for maybe Brabant.
All right, then I'll tell you the whole thing. Listen, the commander, Gaelhaut, saw how valiantly the Black Knight had fought and decided to surrender alongside his entire army, even though they had the upper hand. After the battle, the knights met. They grew close to each other, and from then on, they only fought side by side. When on campaign, they slept in the same tent. They even seduced court ladies together.
Well, it sounds like we have a lot in common with them.
Aye, that's why I'm talking about them. They went through a lot together. Until Lancelot was eventually captured. Everyone thought he was dead. When Gaelhaut found out, well, he was distraught. He felt life was meaningless all of a sudden. In the end, he dies too, of grief and sorrow. Henry, if anything happens to you, then, why the hell can't I save you once for a change?
I'll be back. I promise you. No, everything will be all right. I'll bring reinforcements.
I'm sorry. I just
Come to say goodbye before me and Sam leave.
So you've signed up for that suicide mission? I should have known.
What should you have known?
That you'd be taking pointless risks. Again.
Well, someone has to do it. Otherwise, we'll all die.
Someone has to do it. And once again, it'll be you who sacrifices himself for the others.
What are you saying?
Nothing. Nothing. I'm not saying anything. Why can't things just be normal? Why does it all have to end this way?
What are you talking about?
About nothing. Leave me alone. You just don't get it. Go and save the world.
I'll bring help and everything will be all right again. Sigismund is gone. We'll live normal lives again. You'll see.
No, Henry. Even if you do bring help, I'll never have a normal life.
What are you saying?
After everything that's happened to me, I just can't go on.
I know what you're talking about. Zizka told me how they found you. I'm very sorry.
All I wanted was to get my revenge and never be attached to anyone ever again. But look how that ended up. I have you. And instead of revenge, they want to take you away from me again.
Don't worry. I won't be taken away. And you'll get revenge.
If only that were true. So go then. Go. And bring help. May the Lord be with you.
Can't sleep either.
Don't you dare get yourself killed.
I'll be fine.
I don't want to lose you too.